specific stock which has been in focus in the past couple of weeks. That's Aster DM, which has sold its Gulf business to Fajr Capital and the promoters of Aster DM for a valuation of $1 billion. This took place in November 2023. The company's board met earlier this month on the 15th of Jan to provide more clarity on the developments. I did catch up with the promoter, Azad Moopen, who's the founder and chairman of the company. Listen in to excerpts of the conversation.
So the 70 to 80% we already have, the board has decided. So I won't be able to say whether it's 70, 80. It doesn't make much of a difference. It is between 110 to 120 rupees per share. And the other part of the amount, we are now looking at two things: opportunities for expansion. It's being looked at the same time. If it's not being used, because our financial position in India is quite comfortable. If you take out the GCC, India's balance sheet is very strong. So we don't want to unnecessarily hold funds also. Maybe there is an opportunity for us to give further dividends or some way in which to give to the shareholders if we are not using it.
Okay, you might look to reward shareholders further beyond this dividend.
That's possible. I'm not saying that we will, but I personally feel that if the fund is not being utilized, and as you have access to funds at any point of time, I think it can be even given to the shareholders as we go forward.
So we can assume maybe another special dividend?
I don't promise now, but that's a possibility. That's not a definitiveness, but there is a possibility.
When will the final decision on the dividend which has been declared or thought about by the board be taken?
That should be by March. We hope that we will be able to distribute the dividend in March. That's what we are looking at. In February, after the voting is over, then the board will again meet and then declare the dividend and all. Then the money has to move to India, and then the board will declare the dividend. So the whole process should be over in February or early March, and then we should be able to then give. Our desire is to finish it in March, latest second, third week of March.
Okay. Now the promoters, based on just a back-of-the-hand calculation, will be using up to around $300 million of the dividend they receive to fund the transaction for the Gulf business. Is that correct?
Yeah, we will be using the fund because we have to take our position of 35%, what we have promised for joining with our consortium here. So we'll be utilizing that fund, using the money for that.
What will the remaining funds be utilized for?
By the promoters, see, there won't be too much left for the promoters for any personal purpose because there is a tax also. So naturally, after tax and all, whatever comes back will be required for this. And if there is anything else, we would like to. We have a slight leverage on the stock, about $80 million altogether as a leverage. We would like to reduce that. That's the idea.
Okay, so that's exactly what I was coming to. 98.87% of your holding is pledged on the India business. What is the plan to reduce it and the timeline? Okay,
thank you. So this 98 point, you know that we at least own 1 to 1.2 billion worth of shares now. So this was due to a structural issue, this 98 point or whatever percentage is there. If you look at the actual, leverage, it will be less than 10%. But whatever it is about $80 million, which we are, as much as possible, we would like to wipe it off when these proceeds are coming in.
Any timeline?
We would like to do it within 6 months to 1 year. That's what our desire is. Family doesn't want to keep that. As much as possible, we would like to be debt-free. But slight debt, of course, it's there. It could be there, but it can't be a large amount, a very limited part on it.
Any plans to monetize stake in the India business? You've mentioned you would be open to investors. You have seen PE interest.
We don't have. As promoters, we would like to, because we have increased our stake from 38% to 40%. You might have seen recently. And we will be there. And for both India and GCC, the promoters will remain committed. But there may be some refresh in the, in the investors which we have. There have been long-standing investors, and some of them naturally would like to leave. And we hope that that will give opportunity for a refresh.
So Olympus Capital, that's the one I assume you're talking about, holds 19% stake in the company. Any firm plans on exiting?
There's no firm plans. They have now, they can do it through the public market because it's very liquid and people are actually running behind all stocks, especially healthcare stocks. So that's one way in which they can exit. They also can, if we have another private equity firm which can support our growth in India, if somebody is coming forward and they feel comfortable that they will contribute to the growth of the company the overall Aster in India, we'll be very happy to welcome such people.
All right, so that's some